Hello boys and girls, this is Undertale of course, and welcome to some Battlefield 3 good old-fashioned Grand Bazaar Conquest with the 870 MCS extended mag, slug ammo, Magnum 44, medic class, and of course the noob tube. Because you know what's more fun than shooting someone in the face with an explosive? It's even more fun if you shoot that explosive on top of a building and make the building collapse on top of the guy you were supposed to shoot in the face with the explosive and have him and his pals around him get crushed by tons of concrete. It is just awesome. Seriously, it is an awesome feeling, I love it. But anyways, there has been very little Battlefield 4 news lately. That's of course why I've done so very few normal commentaries. I'm basically kept to doing live commentary, Gunmaster, and you boys and girls pick the loadout videos. And I think I've done pretty good. I think the last one, especially you boys and girls, the James Bond one, was fucking funny. I was on a Conquest server for over 40 minutes and edited it all down to basically the funnest 10 minutes, and I usually don't laugh at my own stupid jokes and that kind of stuff, but even I were like laughing my ass off whilst I was doing like the Money Penny impersonation. Yes, James, of course you can go and take a jet that costs several $billion and crash it into a Russian tank. That is fine by us, the British government. And I mean, like, it was, yeah, that was basically how horrible it was, and I just laughed my ass off. Look at that, Mr. Good Guy Anders switching teams to the losing team. Man, I'm such a good guy, but it's gonna bite me in the ass anyways. Because of course the losing team is gonna lose. Or is it? Huh? Who knows? I'm not gonna spoil it. Maybe I turn around, maybe I don't. Who knows? I usually do only show videos where my team wins, so you probably know what's gonna happen. Anyways. There has been no news at all really about Battlefield 4 lately. There's like smaller things, like you're gonna be able to see what kind of equipment like the tank driver is using. If you jump into the tank, you can see what kind of equipment like a helicopter pilot is using if you jump into his helicopter, and that kind of stuff. Like really good stuff, smaller things. And this is kind of what I wanted to talk about. I mean, like, I've seen a lot of people doing like wish lists on YouTube and stuff like that, and that's good and well and everything like that, but I feel like they're kind of unnecessary, because right now it seems like DICE have been listening so damn much to everything we've been telling them. Like, basically everything except a battle recorder has been put into Battlefield 4 that we have requested. And there's only one thing that hasn't been removed though, it's the suppression effect, of course, because suppression effect still exists in Battlefield 4, but they've removed what basically makes the suppression, what makes you shoot badly. Basically when your bullets kind of go all over the place, like if you were holding your gun with one hand, but they still have the blurry Vaseline screen there. And I think that kind of sucks. But I mean, like, I can meet them halfway, for God's sakes. As long as I'm still as accurate, I mean, it doesn't matter if I got a little bit of Vaseline on my screen. Or, of course, it matters, but it's better to have the Vaseline on the screen than having random gun patterns and stuff like that. Magnum round to the face, bitch. But there's one thing that I haven't heard them talk out about or mentioning at all that I would like to mention, and this is something I've noticed. It has been a lot more common now, like in the later days of Battlefield 3. I mean, for God's sake, the game is of course kind of dying, because it's like almost, what is it, 3 years old now? Or no wait, 2 years old now. And I mean, most games only last for 1 year, for God's sakes. There's very few games that last in a good way more than 1 year. And Battlefield 3 still has tons of players. I mean, it is incredible how many servers still are populated. I can do a server search in Europe and find literally 100 fucking servers that are all full. Of course, this is all the game modes, just not like Rush or something like that. So it's of course like maybe, I would say, 1/6 of all the people that were playing at release date, and compared to like now, but still, like, there's a lot of people playing. But like, bad things like bad admins and bad servers do of course become more common the longer the game lasts, and this has a lot to do with what kind of resources the admins are given, because of course the more resources and the better you can make a server, the worse you can also make it. You can use those resources and equipments and programs to make the server worse slash better for yourself. And this is something I found to be very, very annoying, and this is something I hope DICE and EA really takes care of this time, because Battlefield 4 seems to be oh man, it seems to become so fucking good. I mean, I am damn excited about it. I really want to just give me Battlefield 4, let me fucking play it right now. I'm gonna shoot people in the face, for God's sakes. And I mean, like, for sure, Battlefield 3 still works, but I mean, I want a new one. I want a new one, a new fresh one, where I can play around with new guns and new maps and all that kind of good stuff, new equipment and all kinds of good stuff. And bad admins are something that is very common in Battlefield 3, and I really hope that DICE, like, takes the gloves off and like makes sure they don't get to do whatever the fuck they want with their servers any longer. Don't get me wrong here. I mean, like, you might think that I'm being a douchebag here and like, Anders, people that pay for their servers, they can do whatever the fuck they want with their servers. Yes, you're completely correct, actually. If you rent a freaking Battlefield 3 server, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. But if you do that, you should not have it ranked. People should not be able to unlock guns, people should not be able to go up in rank on your server if you can do whatever the fuck you want with it. If people can, if you want your server ranked, you should follow very strict EA rules. You should not be allowed to, for example, change the spawning time of vehicles, you should not be able to change the health, you should not be able to change really anything more than the map pool and the amount of people playing on it, to be honest here. Because changing that kind of stuff makes the server, in my mind, bad. I mean, it's nothing worse than a server that has 1,000 tickets and it is Metro, because it just isn't fair in the same way. It isn't like the game was intended to be played, so it's kind of like if you would be playing Counter-Strike and you would remove half of Dust 2. You can't have that at a competitive fucking server where you rank up. It doesn't work like that. I mean, like, it gotta be fucking approved, it gotta be done by real map makers and that kind of shit. Like, you can't have it all willy-nilly, like bad admins and shit too. But, so, I really hope DICE and EA, like, take the gloves off and make sure to uphold the rules and the settings they say you should have to have a ranked server, because I feel like there is like all kinds of shitty ass fucking kids and retarded adults and kind of that kind of shit that gets to host servers nowadays, and this is like the same for most games. I mean, it's just horrible how people are allowed to modify the servers for their liking and still have it ranked. I enjoy playing modified stuff. I mean, for God's sakes, one of the most fun things I know is to play modified Gunmaster in Battlefield 3. It's so much fun to play with other guns than like the normal set that DICE gives you, but that shouldn't be ranked. You should not be able to go up in rank by doing that, because that's what people do. I mean, we're gonna have a set of like 1,000 ticket Metro Conquest shit again, where people just lie down with their LMGs and just pummel people. I mean, like, that's not a good way of showing people like what Battlefield is about. I understand that people should be able to play the game however the fuck they want to, and I definitely think we should still allow those kinds of servers, but not to be ranked. That's what I think. This is of course my personal opinion, so you of course are free to think that I'm wrong in that kind of shit, but I'm not wrong on this. I mean, like, doesn't matter. I mean, you gotta have shit for brains if you think that a server that is that much modified, like, especially like with how some servers are, that you should be able to be ranked on it. Because I've been on servers where like the entire enemy team is like 100 level 100 shits for brains, I was about to say, but shit bucket kernels, just like myself, and I tried to change to the team that actually has like all the noobs on it, and the server says, no, Anders, it becomes unbalanced now, you gotta switch back to the other team. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck kind of shit is this? And I asked the admins and they're like, hey, if you don't like it, go play somewhere else. You should not be able to have a server that is ranked if you allow that kind of shit on your server. I mean, like, for God's sakes, at least make sure the teams are decently fair. I mean, who enjoys winning a fight that isn't fair? I mean, like, that's bullshit to me. At least to me. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, feel free to leave your 5 cents below. I'm not gonna go into like admins that behave like dicks, because there's so many, and I just wish that people that actually rent the servers pay a little bit more attention to their admins. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.